Patriots fans, welcome to another episode of This Week in Patriots Baseball, a podcast. Today I am joined by a very special guest, Luke Mirabella. Luke, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Chad. Happy to be here.
So we have just wrapped up the end of the regular season, and the playoffs are upon us. Wednesday night, we open our playoff schedule. It's double elimination. Game 1 Wednesday night, Game 2 Sunday. But quickly, just your thoughts on wrapping up the regular season.
You know, it didn't start off the way we wanted to. We had a lot of promise coming into the season after finishing strong last year. But I think we righted the ship later on in the season. I think we're playing good ball right now. We won 3 of our last 4. I think we're a dangerous team. We are the 8th seed of 9, and I don't know. If I'm 1 or 2, I don't think I want to play Patriots.
I like that. Yeah, I think we're not necessarily sneaking in because everybody gets in, but you look at the 8th seed out of 9, the possibility for the opposition to overlook us, and I would say they would be unwise to do that. So excited for the start of the second season, and to see if we can't go on a little bit of a run here. So Patriots fans should be exciting here in the days and weeks ahead. So definitely keep it locked right here at This Week of Patriots Baseball, a podcast for additional updates throughout the postseason run. But that is not the real reason that we are here today. And Luke, why you've been invited to make your TWIP podcast debut. You have brought a very unique and special element to the Patriots this season in the form of our first ever Kangaroo Court. And for the uninitiated, would love to just hear from your perspective where that idea came from and the Patriots' rendition of the Kangaroo Court, how that came to be this season.
Well, first off, it's an honor to be on This Week Patriots, a podcast. I was hoping I would make an appearance a little earlier for my performance on the field, not necessarily behind the keyboard. But either way, happy to be here, and very, very happy with how the Kangaroo Court has turned out. It started really, so I had this idea really last year, but my season kind of ended a little more abruptly than I wanted to, and it's something that dates back to college for me. We playing at George Washington, we had a little Kangaroo Court going. I kind of took it and ran with it and turned it into what it was. And really, it's just a way to keep everyone in check. It's a way to build camaraderie, get everyone more acclimated with each other. You know, give everybody a reason to come to the ballpark other than just to win games.
Luke, how would you say that, not to toot your own horn, but let's toot your own horn here. How would you say that you took the previous iteration of the Kangaroo Court? How did you put your stamp on that second season at GW and when your first season at the helm? What was kind of your signature element of it?
Yeah, I think to have a successful Kangaroo Court, it's a testament to commitment and just staying on it all the time. It's easier to do it 1 week at a time, but it's harder to do it for a whole season and keep it up. So I really made it a point to be prompt. A week didn't go by where there wasn't fines. A practice didn't go by. A game didn't go by that wasn't unmonitored by the Kangaroo Court. So it was really just attention to detail and focus and remembering really what it's all about, and that's creating banter and good positive camaraderie for the team.
So what are some of the things that can elicit a fine, either generally speaking, or as you go back through your mental Rolodex of the 2019 Patriots?
There was no shortage of finable offenses this year. Let's see. I always enjoy Sean Harding volunteering himself for fines for very minimal offensive things, like when we're throwing the ball around the horn and he makes a bad throw and suggests a fine for himself. That's very selfless of him, but that's not really what it was supposed to be.
But do you think, is he trying to buy some cover there? And
I don't know. There is some pandering going on.
You know, because if you build up some goodwill for something mundane like, you know, an errant throw after a strikeout, you know, are you less likely to attract the ire of the Kangaroo Court for a later transgression?
I'd like to say that every offense is in itself its own offense, and that one event doesn't correlate to the other. But at the same time, there's just some guys that they're easy to find, you know? They're easy to pick on.
Mm-hmm. You gotta be mindful of the egos and the personalities, and you know, some of these instances require that softer touch. So
exactly,
I would say that's certainly got to be a skill of the head of the Kangaroo Court.
Everybody likes to reply all when they're thrown under the bus, right?
Well, and yeah, you know, contrary to, you know, playing in college or playing playing professionally, we're lucky if we play 2 games a week. Oftentimes it's 1 game a week. So this is a good vehicle to, you know, like you said, keep the camaraderie, keep the banter going through those dog days of summer, those long Mondays and Tuesdays when you're grinding at the office, and all you want to do is you know, be back out there on the field. This at least gives you that little bit of a touch point. So yeah, I think it was a welcomed addition. Even if there were some of our teammates who were more habitual offenders than others. I think with that in mind, let's look at the I don't know if we would call it the leaderboard or kind of the wall of shame, or however you would think about it, but we definitely had some folks whose names appeared you know, more often than others as those repeat offenders. You know, it's a safe space. I think we can call people out here on this podcast.
The number 1 leader in the Kangaroo Court for 2019 in total amount of dollars was none other than Billy Schultz.
Really?
That is correct. I think $5 max fine for his accidental proposal, for lack of a better word, might have pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, that's fair. I gave him some heat offline, but yeah, continue as to the Kangaroo Court's rationale. But I support that for what it's worth.
Right. Well, we're very happy for him, and that she said yes, and that the whole day went very well. Just the timing and the way we received the information
questionable
was comical. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so Billy has paid the most into the Kangaroo Court. How about the most frequent offender, even if it was not the highest amount?
Actually, you might be surprised at this one, but it was actually myself. I gave myself four total fines of the 6 weeks. I think I deserved it. Shawnee Mack, who comparison to his attendance, might have been fined the most.
Yeah,
that was surprising to see someone who is a little quieter.
Yeah, I mean, were any of his fines for lack of attendance?
No, they weren't.
That's interesting. I mean, if they were, I should be up there near the top of the list, full disclosure. So thankfully that's not a finable offense.
Not yet. It's not.
That's true. But the playoffs are a different animal altogether. What does the Kangaroo Court have in store for the playoffs? I mean, the intensity certainly ratchets up. You know, I would imagine that the Kangaroo Court, follows suit.
I wanted to announce it in today's email, but I thought this would be a better medium. All fines starting Wednesday will be doubled. So that means you got a $1 fine, it's a $2 fine, $4 fine, it's an $8 fine, and we're going to roll with that until the Patriots keep playing.
High stakes indeed. What does the at the end of the regular season, at the end of the playoffs, what is the booty? The booty is not the right word. But when all is said and done, what does the pot go towards?
Yeah, that's certainly the number one question. I think we got to open that up to the team and let the team decide. Maybe the fans can chime in. But I would like to have some sort of party, group outing, celebration, and all of that would be paid for. That would be a nice touch.
Yeah, so right now we're up to $83 plus interest, so we may be approaching triple digits. And with the high stakes of the playoffs, does the Kangaroo Court pay a closer eye in the playoffs? Are things magnified that way as well?
Yeah, I think so. Just so there'll be more fans, more eyes in the game, more players in the dugout. I hope the intensity ramps up, and so does the Kangaroo Court.
Is too much intensity a finable offense? Can you be too intense in the eyes of the Kangaroo Court?
Yeah, I think you can, Chad. That's one of those things that's an intangible thing that's kind of hard to put your finger on.
I like that you've provided yourself there with plenty of gray area and wiggle room for interpretation. That's smartly played on your part.
Right. And I know I'm not a lawyer, and there are certainly some lawyers on the team, so I try to walk that fine line often.
Well, this has been really tremendously enlightening. And if somebody thinks that that's pandering to the Kangaroo Court, so be it.
If I recall, Chad, I don't think you've been fined yet, so you're either doing something right or you're not showing up enough. I don't know which one. Yeah, that's true. There
was a call for myself to be fined today on the email thread. I think, to your earlier points, I replied all quickly and tried to stamp that out. So we'll see if that picks up any further steam. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. We know the stakes are going to be high. We now know that the stakes, as seen through the Kangaroo Court's eyes, will also be ratcheted up. And in fact, fines doubled now as we enter the postseason. But yeah, certainly a lot to play for and a lot to keep your head on a swivel for, with the Kangaroo Court's always watchful eye surveying the field and the dugout and the fans alike. So should be exciting times in the weeks ahead. Luke, thanks so much for joining us. This has been a great discussion and timely and relevant, so very much appreciate it.
Thanks, Chad. I was really happy to be here. Again, hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be talking about a Patriots championship and the on-the-field accolades. But until then, you'll hear from me behind the computer, as always, from Kangaroo Court.
Luke, much appreciated. Keep up the good work, and keep looking the other way as it relates to any of my finable offenses.
All right. We'll see about that.
All right, and that's going to do it for this episode of This Week in Patriots Baseball, a podcast. Thanks again to our special guest, Luke Mirabella, joining us to talk all things Patriots Kangaroo Court. And a reminder that the 2019 postseason is officially upon us. Game 1 is Wednesday night. I believe first pitch is 8:05. So make sure that you're out there cheering boisterously for the Patriots as we begin our championship push. And we can't wait to see everybody out at the ballpark. Until then, as always, don't forget to try your best. Thanks, everybody. So long.